In this video, I'm compiling multiple strategies for the Tomb Golden Armor Easter egg so you can complete it super easily every single game, including the best weapons, strategies with and without Gobblegums, and I highly recommend you watch until the end to not miss a single tip. Breaking it all down, firstly, to activate this Easter egg, you need to get the 2 statue heads from the Dark Ether Nexus. One can be found in a box in front of Juggernog, which once you've meleeed twice will reveal your first statue head, and the second box can be found to the left of the green teleporter. Once both heads are required, you place them on the 2 statues inside of the spawn room. Now, there are some absolute fundamentals that I recommend before you attempt this. The first being the loadout weapon you bring in must be a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch legendary rarity. That way you're going to be doing as much damage to these elite bosses as possible. Another fundamental is the upgraded ice staff is incredible for this, and naturally it will take you to about round 20 in order to have a legendary rarity weapon at triple Pack-a-Punch. And another fundamental is you want to attempt this at the very end of a round where you have 1 zombie left. Now, when I mention the upgraded ice staff being essential, I mean it, because both sets of elite bosses can be taken down solely using the ice staff. Regardless of what weapon you choose, if you are training around the dig site in a clockwise direction, and especially if you have the upgraded ice staff, you can continuously lay down charge shots in the pathway that the 3 elite bosses will cross, and every time they are within the radius of the charged shot, it will deal 5,000 damage to them. And if you take your time training around the dig site, charging up shots, you'll notice in no time at all the health on these bosses will be trickling down very quickly. As for field upgrade choice, you're definitely going to want to run Ether Shroud, because if you get into any trouble, whether it's losing all of your armor and at risk of taking another down, or that the bosses have just a tiny bit of health left and you just want to take that out nice and safely, then the Ether Shroud will definitely be your best friend here. Now, I wasn't running the best equipment here, but if you have Molotovs, it's great to throw Molotovs down as well in those charged ice staff shots to do some extra damage. And when it comes to taking down the other 3 bosses, the EMP Mimics, they are weak to Cryo Freeze and the ice staff, where it actually inflicts more damage to them, so you'll take them down even quicker than the Doppelghasts. The only thing that you need to consider if attempting it via this strategy is to just keep your distance, because you only have 1 HP and every hit inside of here counts as one of your armor plate. If you are attempting this at a slightly higher round, maybe the late 20s going into 30s, you should have a fair amount of spare points where if you need to, you can go ahead and use the tier 2 armor wall buy to replenish the armor if you are getting low. And it's definitely recommended to do this once you have a good amount of perks, if not all of the perks in the game, because some of the augments for perks like PhD Slider allow you to just get further away from these elites quicker, because some of them can be really fast. Now, you don't have to solely just use the ice staff upgraded for this. You can of course have a combination of this and a loadout weapon, which I recommend having at legendary rarity and tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. The meta for the entire map, including the boss fight right now, is the ASG shotgun, so I highly recommend you use that if you do want a really good weapon to take these bosses down at a really good range as well. If you want my ASG loadout, I have it here on the screen for you right now, but a combination of charged ice staff shots and then this shotgun, you should have no problems whatsoever as long as you're training and keeping your distance. Now, all of these strategies so far have involved no Gobblegum use whatsoever, but I'm now going to show you a combination of strategies involving other map side Easter eggs, as well as using Gobblegums to enhance those side Easter eggs and other Gobblegums that you might want to use to help get this completed. Doing this at the end of the round is essential, especially on solo, and it can be difficult as you might accidentally take out that final zombie with your charged attack, which is why a Gobblegum like timeout is very useful specifically for this side Easter egg, as it stops any normal zombies from spawning into the map for 3 whole minutes, meaning you have a ton of time to take out 1 set of bosses, maybe even both within that time limit, because it is really difficult to keep that last zombie alive and not accidentally take it out. Now, one of the most effective drops that you can use to make this easier is an insta-kill drop, and thankfully there is a free insta-kill on this map. It's located near Quick Revive in the deep excavation, and a great trick in order to activate it is to throw a C4 directly where you see me here, throw it in between these pillars for it to land right by the insta-kill drop. Then whenever you're about to start one of these blood sacrifices, simply pop your C4 and the insta-kill will spawn ready for you to pick up. Now again, you can keep this completely Gobblegum free if you wanted, but if you have something like a temporal gift Gobblegum, this would be extremely useful to combine with, so you get 60 seconds of insta-kill. And combined with a weapon like the ASG, this is really devastating to these elites, and you can get them taken out well before the insta-kill runs out. You can also completely ignore this side Easter egg and bring in a Killjoy Gobblegum if you want to go down that route, again combining it with temporal gift to make the damage against these elite bosses even easier than it was before. Another great Gobblegum that you can use is Idolize, which will make all the bosses literally just freeze in place. So then if you wanted to combine it with something like an insta-kill, or if you just wanted to take them down using your tier 3 pack-a-punched legendary weapon, you could do that and you will have no trouble whatsoever. And the Idolize actually lasts long enough that you might actually be able to take down both sets of bosses if you are extremely quick about it. Obviously, not everyone is going to want to run Gobblegums every single time they want to attempt the golden armor Easter egg, which is why I'm giving you some options, as well as having that amazing side Easter egg to get the insta-kill with the C4. Now, there is one more method that on solo is without question the easiest method in order to complete this. I can't imagine that this method will work for too much longer. Now, the whole premise during this is that you cannot activate any score streaks when you are inside the spawn taking on these two blood sacrifices. However, there is nothing saying that you cannot activate a score streak first and then begin these blood sacrifices, which I'm seeing a lot of people do in co-op. However, on solo, if you pop a mutant injection and then activate the blood sacrifice, you can activate this when you are within the Mangala suit itself, and the later around you do this, the more damage the Mangala suit will do to each of the elites, allowing you to take down these elite bosses with literally zero difficulty. And once you've completed one of the blood sacrifices, all you need to do is go towards the Deadshot Daiquiri room to the crafting table to build another mutant injection, and then activate that, then activate the second statue, and you'll be able to do this without any struggle whatsoever. Now, if you're playing in co-op attempting this, then I definitely recommend you give this a go. And if for whatever reason Treyarch change how you use score streaks within the dig site itself, you can always walk out of the barriers, pop your mutant injection, and then go straight back into the ritual area. And if you combine this with multiple players in the game also doing this whilst one player remains within the area and just runs around, and better still, have another player just running around the final zombie somewhere else on the map, that way you have absolutely no interruptions in fighting this thing within a co-op game. I've heard combinations of mutant injections and a chopper gunner is definitely the best combination to whittle down the health of these bosses when you're playing in a co-op game. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, the strategy of activating score streaks and then activating the rituals within the score streaks may have been patched, but it is 100% effective to do if you are playing in a co-op game. But hopefully, with all of the strategies shared in this video, you should have no trouble getting the golden armor on your next attempt on the tomb. If there's a strategy not in this video, let me know in the comments below and share it with the community. If you learned something new, a like rating before you leave would be absolutely awesome. And if you want to see another video with an amazing bunch of tips and tricks for the Tomb's Easter egg quest, as well as a guide on how to complete the Tomb's Easter egg quest, you can check both of those videos out on your screen right now. I guarantee you'll really enjoy at least one of them, so click them. I'll be with you in just a moment.